Very excited to be joined by one of UCLA's newest Bruins, Donovan Dent, fresh off first practice of the summer. How did it go?
It went great. I'm telling you, a lot of high energy. Everyone was in good spirits. It was a great first day.
How does it feel to be, on campus now and kind of going through everything with the team for the first time, being a Bruin, wearing the uniform, the whole thing?
It's been amazing. Like, this is a school that I always looked at when I was growing up. I'm from Southern California, so I always knew about UCLA. And it just feels good to be out here on this court. Like, I'm excited for this year.
When did you move in? When did you get kind of settled in Westwood?
I finished moving in completely this past week, right before we started first workouts on Monday. So it was a bit hectic, had a lot of stuff to move down. But I mean, I'm all settled in now and I'm just ready to work.
Was that the move from New Mexico, or had you moved back to like Corona area and then in
Uh,
here?
it was the move from New Mexico. I moved straight here from New Mexico, had a lot of stuff, drove it down, and it was just me and my family got it done.
Nice, nice. So I want to go back through that recruitment process because this was obviously a different deal from high school. How much of a different experience was it going into the transfer portal, getting that 5-star ranking in 247? How different was that from high school when it was a lot lighter for you?
It was way different. I had a lot more calls and coaches hitting me up and stuff, and like it was just all a blessing. Like coming from high school, I didn't have as many offers as I did as I entered the transfer portal. So I mean, it was just cool to hear all the schools that were interested. I evidently chose UCLA because I just feel like that was my best fit, and I wanted to be back home. I trust Coach Cronin, trust all the coaching staff, and I'm just excited.
Having not gone through like I guess the huge like highly recruited by all these elites out of high school, was there any temptation to, I don't know, just kind of take a look and see what was out there? Because you went from entering the portal to committed to UCLA within about 3 days. Was
Yeah,
there any temptation to take it a little bit longer, or did you kind of know immediately?
I kind of knew I wanted to come back this way. That was my whole goal when I entered the transfer portal. So like a lot of the big schools that were hitting me up that I never thought I'd hear from, it was like a little like, oh, should I take a visit? But like they're far away from home. So I just evidently knew I wanted to come home because like I trusted in this program. We played them last year. I knew how good they were, and I was excited. Like I was excited to come back to LA.
How much of a relationship did you still have with this coaching staff from? I know they were talking to you out of high school. How much of a relationship did you build then, and how much was there like a reconnection going on when you were recruited?
I mean, there was a big one. Like I always knew of them because we talked to each other during high school, all my recruiting time during then. And like they always just had a connection with my high school coach. So I'd always hear about Coach Cronin, always hear about them and all that. So I mean, I just when I as soon as I entered the portal officially, they were one of the first ones to call. So it felt good. They still wanted me in that position.
Now you've said coming home, coming home, coming home. So was that kind of the biggest factor for you when you were looking at UCLA? Was the ability to, I guess, play in front of family and friends again?
Yeah, it was one of the main ones. Like I knew I was gonna transfer out of there because it was just time to get out of that environment. And when I was looking through all the portal stuff and all that, like coming home, being able to play with my in front of my mom and dad as they go to all the games, being able to do all that, it was just perfect for me. So that played a huge factor for me.
And so when you entered the portal, I'm sure you were talking to Coach Cronin and everybody pretty quickly. What was the pitch to you? What did they say to you about how they're going to use you and where they see you fitting?
The biggest pitch to me was they were just told me that like they know what I'm capable of. Like he's bringing in guys like I don't think we have a single high school recruit if I'm not mistaken. Like he's bringing in older guys. He knows the group he wants to win. Like he was telling us how the group that took to the Final Four were all older guys, all more vets and all that. So that was the biggest pitch to me is that I just feel like this team could win. Like we're all vets. We've all been to where we need to be, and we all want to take that next step. So just being able to fill in that role, I think is gonna be a fun season for that.
So one of the guys who's coming in with you, you're very familiar with, Anthony Peoples Jr., high school teammates and now
Yep.
college teammates again. What's that like? And were you one of the ones who maybe tipped off the staff about him out in when he came in as a transfer?
Yeah, me and Coach Dallas talked about it. We were referencing like AP coming in and all that. We were like, we weren't fully sure how committed he was to and all that. And then I want to say like a week later after we mentioned it, it was like he committed. And then not only just him on the team, I also play with Eric Freeney. He's been on the team, so it's just kind of funny. We have a Centennial pipeline going on at UCLA. I see.
Yeah. What have your connections been like so far with all the other guys who have coming in, Steven, Xavier, and all these guys?
No, we actually just we've had open runs a couple times a week, but like everyone just gets along well. Like there's no egos involved. Everyone has a good connection. Everyone's a good team spirit, and like it's just easy to get along with people like that because like they make it easy. So I think we've got along great.
And then, it's interesting. A lot of transfers are coming in to different programs these days, and it's kind of the way of the world now. But you're coming in point guard, leader, all those different things. Is it a difficult transition coming into a new program where you kind of have to assume that role and kind of be the voice of the coach, all those different things on the floor when you haven't been coached by Cronin before and also, don't know all of these guys super well?
It's funny you say that because you would think it is, but Coach Cronin and the guys, they've made it so easy for me to like transition right back into like that role, being the point guard where I got to be vocal, talk through the coach. Like today, he yelled at me because I wasn't being vocal. Like he doesn't want me to take a back seat. He wants me to be the same person I was when I transferred out. So like he just makes it easier to do that, and the team listening and being cooperative, like they've made it easy too. So I think it's gonna be a smooth transition for sure.
How familiar were you with Coach Cronin's coaching style and everything coming in? And you said you got yelled at for the first time
Yeah,
today, but like, what kind of is it? Is that pretty similar to what you've experienced in the past?
yeah, he's a lot like my high school coach. Him and my high school coach play golf together all the time, so I already knew what he was when I was coming into it. I already knew what to expect. I was gonna get hollered at for sure. So like I was prepared and all that, but I think you got to be able to be coachable. Like it's just not that big of a deal to me, so I'm excited.
And then, like kind of looking forward to this season, what are your expectations for this year? What are your expectations coming into UCLA? Looking at all those banners hanging up and everything. What's kind of your desire for this season?
Winning. Like that's the main focus for this whole group. Like we've all talked about it. Like we all went past second round last year. We all know what we needed to get over that hump, and we feel like we have that team to complete it. So really, just winning. We just want to win as much as we can.
And then from your like play style at New Mexico and everything, how do you see kind of the way you have played kind of morphing into the way, I mean, Coach Cronin's used point guards who are, I would say, very turnover averse and very like kind of ball control. Where do you see, because you're more, up tempo, you get up and down the floor. How do you see that kind of melding together and fitting going forward this season?
I think it's gonna come together simply because Coach Cronin is big on defense. Like today, we did like a 30-minute session drill, just working on defense to get out and transition and run. So like, I think it's gonna go perfectly with how I play because I'm more of a transition running type of guy. And if we just play defense, get steals, and get out, it's the easiest type of way to play. And that's how he seems like he wants to play here. So I think it's gonna match very well.
And then for I think a lot of fans are pretty familiar with you at this point, but how would you like if you were giving somebody a pitch on you as a player, what would you say is kind of your description for who you are as a player?
I think I'm a something that describes me as plays. I just play fast. Like I play like free and have fun when I'm playing out there. Like they're just gonna. I think they're gonna love the way I play because I'm just more of like an entertainer out there, and I gotta fix it a little bit because coach wants me to play a little more fundamental, a little less sloppiness. So I'm gonna work on that. But I think you're just gonna enjoy seeing me get to the rim, getting my teammates involved, and just getting out there and having fun.
All right, awesome, Donovan. Really appreciate it, man. Good luck with
Well,
the rest of summer practices, and we'll see you in the fall.
thank you. Have a good one.
You too.